on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I'm your host, as always, Evil Eddie, and we got a special guest joining us right now. We got no other than Slap for Cash. What's going on, Slap?
What's going on, Eddie?
Not much, man. I mean, there's so much going on right now with, coronavirus. We got everyone's on lockdown right now. I mean, I've literally kidnapped a girl. She's on the other side of that big white ball over there.
Hey, Eddie, we don't give no girls clout, so you can't give her a shout out.
This is Slap.
Fame, not clout.
Yeah, there you go. That's all she's been singing. This is fame, not clout. But listen, Slap, I want to jump into it with everybody that may not be familiar with me and you going back and forth. Me and you are pretty much friends on social media, but I really feel like we get real outside of what we talk about on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that me and you have been going back and forth about is the Logan Paul thing. So I'm over here tonight looking through Instagram. I see a little video. Now let me play the video for everybody before you make a comment. So here it goes.
Oh man, look who I see.
Hey.
Oh.
Here we are.
So first off, let me pause it right there. Where are you in this video on your Instagram without 246?
Yeah. So no, I think it was 247. It was the last UFC event.
Okay. So what you're outside after the event with Nick?
Well, Nick asked me to do security for him because shit gets crazy up there with him sometimes. He asked me to do security for him at UFC 247. He said, you can roll in with me and just watch my back. And as payment, you could basically get a front row seat to the UFC.
Hell yeah.
Which, that's worth like $5,000 right there. So who the fuck wouldn't want to go front row
Slap.
with Nick?
Tell my listeners here and your fans who was there, because UFC 246 was Conor versus Cowboy, if I remember correctly. Correct?
No, that was Usman. Or no, it was
Usman versus Covington.
No.
UFC 246. Was it Nate versus Masvidal? UFC 246.
It was 240. I think it was 248.
All right. So either way, you're outside this venue and you see Logan there. Did you know he was going to be there?
No, I didn't know at all.
Because you've been showing up at his house. Like you've been trying to get this boxing match.
So Nick asked me to do security for him. So we're rolling into UFC. I think it's 248 in Las Vegas. We're going through the back way, T-Mobile, because when you go with Nick, you go all private entrances and stuff. So I'm with Nick Diaz. We're walking up to get into the back, and all of a sudden he goes, "Hey, look over there." And I go, "Oh shit." He's like, "Yeah, don't say nothing." I go, "Hey!" And I just start yelling at him, man.
There's no way you were gonna say anything, like, Slap. There's no way.
Huh?
There's no way you were gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's Logan, it's cool." I'm not.
I looked at Nick was pissed, dude. He's like, because Nick, the whole thing about it is I'm supposed to be there doing security for Nick, like.
So now Nick's doing security for you.
Yeah.
Which I mean, come on, that's kind of badass either way. I mean.
So Logan sees me with Nick Diaz and he looks over at me and I'm like, come here. He's over there taking photos with he was walking but at the same time taking photos of people and stuff. And he sees me, he doesn't have a choice but to come over and talk to us because I mean, all he knows, we could clip him right there. Like we could run up on him.
Oh, cool. There's slapping Nick Diaz. Should I approach or? Yeah, he had no choice, man. He had no choice because he was gonna get called out if he started walking away. Come on.
Yeah, he was like a tank stuck in a ditch, bro. Like he had to. He had, and on top of that, he's with his camera guy.
I saw the little guy, the guy with the curly hair.
Yeah, some little dude.
Let me show you guys.
And he walks over. And
here, let me play the rest of it because listen, I'm on the React scene right now, and as soon as he comes over, you got a big smile on your face. Logan looks nervous, bro. Was not expecting this. So let me just hit play here for everybody. We're 7 seconds into the video of the 41 seconds on Slap for Cash's Instagram. Here we go.
Here we are, face to face.
Here we are.
Hey, we might have to do round 2, yeah? Boxing match?
So right there, Slap, he goes, I guess we have to do round 2.
Yeah.
He jumps right into it. What's going through your head in that moment? I got him, right? Like you do to Nick all the time. Got him.
Yeah. I'm thinking to myself like, oh yeah,
got him.
We're gonna do a boxing match now, buddy. And he's over there, and he just looked really, really nervous, really sketched out, really like kind of scary. But at the same time, he was trying to play it like none of that bothered him. Keep in mind, like, I found out his best friend was sick, so his best friend's usually with him. He wasn't
Mike,
there.
You're talking about Mike.
Him and a camera guy.
You're talking about Mike from Connecticut.
Yeah, Mike was sick, I guess.
Who I'm allegedly gonna box, right?
Yeah,
because of that first interview.
That'd be great.
Right.
I think you'd fold Mike, and wouldn't be a bad thing.
Well, listen, Slap. For people out there that are tuning in right now that don't know the backstory, why don't you give a little preview of the history between you and Logan? Like, you've been trying to set this up for about 6, 7, maybe even 8, 9 months now.
Yeah, I just figured like, hey, this is a 24-year-old kid. He's looking at me like I'm a big dude. He originally called me to help him out with the Slap documentary.
Yeah.
I went down to his house in LA. We did the video. Basically, it resulted in me falling down, acting like I was hit hard, they went on an interview and said, "Oh, I knocked him out." I wasn't knocked out. I went back on an interview and said I wasn't knocked out.
And what was the backlash you heard from that? Because, me and you have spoken about this at length. What's the backlash led to? That you need to do this boxing match to prove yourself. That's why you want to do it.
So I'm not the one that even called him. Well, actually, I did say we can do a boxing match. And then he's the one that said to come to L.A. and I'll rip your head off. And I'm like, wait a minute. He just told me to come to L.A.? Come to L.A. and I'll rip your fucking head off. I'm like, okay. So I went and trained, went to a boxing camp for 2-3 weeks.
And you showed up at his house, right? And he was like overseas doing a song or something.
Yeah, I showed up at his house. Yeah. And I guess he wasn't ready that day.
Because I followed, like, somebody came out to the gate and was like, yeah, Logan's not here, this and that. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
He's dodging Slap.
From the comments, people wrote me, they said that was Gavin, his best friend. And they tried to say he wasn't there, but I know he was there for a fact because one of his dogs got loose while that guy was out front with me. When that guy walked back in the gate, we walked past, and we seen him trying to get his dog in, so...
his watchdogs, the one that killed his parrot, the one that killed the Maverick parrot, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, like
wasn't the Pomeranian.
I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
But I just know he's, we caught him. We caught him, and I had a friend of mine say, "Hey, man, you're gonna see him one day," and I think, me personally, I think he does want to fight. He will box me because he was fighting with. He was boxing with Paul Costa. Is that how I pronounce it? Costa.
Paulo Costa.
The UFC fighter?
Yeah, Paulo Costa. Yeah, but you've been hanging out with Johnny Walker, bro.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I was training with Johnny Walker at the same facility like 2 months before. It would have been nice to run into him, and but I would have did it right there at the UFC facility because they have a boxing ring there. So I wound up. I see a video of him boxing Paul Costa on ESPN, and Paul Costa actually knocked him out.
Whoa! Rewind. I have not seen this. I keep up with all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of weird that they would cover that, but I guess they did. How long ago was that?
He was training with Paul. I think he was trying to see like what kind of level he was on.
Where he's at? Yeah.
He did pretty good on the wrestling against Paul. But when him and Paul Costa got in the ring, so at the UFC facility, there's like mats for wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Then there's a little boxing area where there's heavy bags and speed bags. And then behind that, there's a cage. And behind the cage, there's a bikes and there's a boxing mat behind it, right? Boxing ring. So they were in the far corner, furthest point possible. So they were all the way in the corner in the boxing ring, and Paul knocked them out.
Wow. And that was aired on ESPN.
It was on the ESPN. I don't know if it made TV, but it was on ESPN Instagram, which is basically probably the same as TV at this point.
Probably would even get more viewers, to be honest.
Yeah, and when I seen that, I'm like, bro, you can't hang with heavyweights. Like, yeah, you might be fast and jumping around and be able to move, but in the heavyweight division, there's a saying, all it takes is one hit. And you're not going to be able to take a hit by a heavyweight, bro. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, you just can't. And that's the reason why he doesn't want to bounce around, because he knows, in the back of his mind, he knows that all it's going to take is one hit. He's watched my videos, dude. He knows what time it is.
And all the interviews, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's did his research on me, just like I've done my research on him, bro. The kid ain't stupid. And he knows when it comes down to it, he's going to try to bounce around. And I'm just going to look for that one hit, and I'm going to knock him out.
Now, the only thing I'm going to come at you with that would be like a legitimate thing to watch was actually his boxing match that he had against KSI. It was the rematch. And the first one, I think, went to a draw. The second one, he lost, I think. I didn't watch it. I wasn't on that. Did you watch it?
He's fighting KSI. That's a big difference. Like, KSI is some little fucking YouTube dork, man. You're fighting a 400-pound animal.
What's your background, Slap, for people that don't know? What's your background? What's your history?
Boxing, jiu-jitsu.
And you've also been bodyguard for years. I mean, you have a long list of things that you've accomplished in your life just from your size and power, which Logan is not size and power. It's YouTube and entertainment. So
yeah, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and I was powerlifting for like 5-6 years till I stopped. It's crazy. I had a long time where I've trained in several different things, and when this happens, I'm going to kill him. I'm not just gonna play around and bounce, bro. I'm not gonna just play around and move with you for 3 minutes. I'm gonna back you in the corner. I'm gonna knock that big chin off your fucking head.
Now, before we get to that point of what people can expect when this does happen, let me play the rest of the video on your Instagram for everybody, and then we'll go from there of where you guys left off. So here it is. It's on Slap for Cash Instagram at Slap for Cash, SLAPFORCASH.
Want that smoke? I want that smoke. If you want the smoke, you boxing again, guys? Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, I think we should. Let's do it. I think we should. He wants to do it. Let's go. All right.
Woo! Slap, you're fired up there. You've been waiting for that moment forever. Have you followed through with any of that? Like, where do you guys stand right now after that was actually recorded?
After that was recorded, about a week went by. Oh, so after we turned the camera off, I started walking away. He said, "Come to the house."
No.
I looked back and I said, "What?" Because I was like, "I'm not hearing this right." He said, "Yeah, come to the house." I said, "No, I'm gonna have to get a hold of somebody first because, like last time I came to your house, we wasted a bunch of time, dude."
And you couldn't use any of your footage, right? Like he wouldn't allow your cameramen. It was all his cameramen, including his brother Jake, that were just swarming you, so you couldn't show any of your own footage, correct?
Yeah, they didn't want me to bring a cameraman, and then they didn't want me to bring no cornermen. They wanted to use all their people, and I'm like, no, bro, it's not working like that. Like, this is how it's gonna work.
Slap. Can I ask you something? The guy at the beginning of the Slap That Changed My Life, he says, so Logan goes, I know a guy that knows this guy. Who's the guy that you have in between? Because that same guy, he has a history I'm sure you know of, but it was also the minister at Logan and Tana Montague's wedding. So I'm like, who is this guy? How do you know him?
That's our Manazati.
Yeah.
Armani. He used to, so I knew, so to kind of like back this story way from the beginning of time, I knew him like 9 years prior to all of this happening. So I've known him a long time. He's just somebody I've known, and just from the scenery, just from the Vegas scene, and he kind of was like the person who, I guess they were doing a Slap documentary, and he thought of me. I guess my videos and me being like the American Slap for Cash, me being the American Slap champion, knocking everybody out in America. He just kind of figured like, oh, this would go great in this category of the Slap documentary, because bro, it's hard to find people to actually do content with you that slap people, So
of course.
He called me up and he said, hey, you want to work with Logan Paul? And he goes, what would you want? And we just started discussing things. And then sure enough, I was down there at Logan Paul's house doing videos with him. And that's when it kind of came to a thing where we were going to make something viral, but I needed to figure out how we were going to do this viral video. And the video actually did go viral. It got
17 million views right now, just on his channel, not including all the thousands of channels that recorded it. On his channel right now, it's at 17 million, so we got well over $20,000 for that, you know?
Yeah. And then it went on his Instagram. That got 10 million on his Instagram. And then all the interviews and people who've talked about it all together, it's at, last time we checked, that was like 4 months ago, it was at over 100 million views all across the web.
Wow.
So you got to think like people pick up on it. And then the interviews me and him did, because he did a podcast and I did a podcast. He did another podcast, did an interview.
Get that guy out of here. And forth. Right after you came on my podcast, right? He did that and like responded to what me and you were talking about in a way.
Yeah.
With that guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with that nerdy bald guy. Yeah. I haven't heard from that guy since. Like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
You know, who the fuck was that guy?
That guy actually retired from the business apparently. So
I'm sure the fuck he did. After he talked about me, he fucking went right to retirement. He's like, fuck that. What happens if I run into that dude? Fuck this shit. I'm retiring. He sucked anyways. Who the fuck would let that guy interview you, man? Come on.
So listen, Slap, what was Nick thinking through all this when you guys walked away from each other? Did you guys share words? Like, you know,
Nick was pissed, dude.
Because Nick doesn't like this guy. He was mad at you for even doing this, correct?
Yeah, Nick doesn't really care for Logan Paul. Nick and Nate they're not video people, bro. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't like.
Go look at the GSP press conference with Nick Diaz, and that's all you got to say.
Yeah, Nick isn't somebody that really wants to see, because Nick knows I can get crazy, and in Nick's eyes, knowing Nick Diaz and knowing me, being the person I am, like if I would have turned shit up and Logan's people would have happened to be there and it would have turned into a fight, Nick's the type of guy like he's gonna go crazy.
That would be on the front page of TMZ all day.
Yeah,
Logan.
And he would have knocked out 5 or 6 of them little YouTubers right there. Yeah. Guarantee it. Him alone. Could you imagine? Him alone. Nick Diaz alone could take 5 or 6 Logan Pauls, and Logan's the biggest guy in his crew.
You always say that about Logan. I mean, I know that you want this fight, but you always say that to me, that Logan's actually a really big kid, right?
I respect him for keeping his physical.
He's 22, right? You know? He's only 22, correct?
I think he's 24, 25, something like that. Right. I try not to give him too much thought. You know, like it is in the back of my mind like a boxing match, but I didn't go on and on and on about it. I realized that the kid was a scared little bitch, and he told his crew to back off, to get me to back off, and so I did. I was like, look, you don't want to fight, bro. I can only come at you so many times where I'm like, hey, me and everybody else who knows about this story knows you're a bitch. Because if you weren't a bitch, you would say, fuck it. You know what? Come here on this day. Bro, it's fucking Corona season right now, and I'll show up to your fucking house right the fuck now.
Knock you out with a 1-2 soak COVID, bro.
I'll show up in a moon suit if you really want. Hey, if he really wants to do this, we can wear moon suits, and I'll still beat his fucking ass.
That would be great. Hold on. So, Slaps, flip your camera the other way because it's flipping on me. But no, there we go.
My bad.
So let me ask you this: what was your response when he said, "Come to my house"? Like you started on it, but like what happened the rest of that night? Walk us through that.
I was walking away because some guy was taking photos. Like a bunch of people started to walk up, and I started to walk away. As I was walking away, he said, "Yeah, come to the house," and I'm like, "Did I just hear that right?" I turned my head. I'm like, "What'd you say?" He said, "Yeah, come to the house," and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. I'm going to have to talk to somebody, like I need this verified." So I should have just got a date on camera. Like, hey, you want to do this on this day? That's what I should have did.
Yeah.
But there was so much going on between me, him, and Nick Diaz and all this stuff going on. Really wasn't enough time to have a full-out conversation. And there was a bunch of people starting to walk up. So, and the UFC was about to start. The show was about to start. So we had to go.
This is before. Okay, wow. All right.
This is before the show. Okay. Once the show started, like, there's no talking. There's It's just he's in his section, I'd be in my section. So basically, he just told me to show up to his house. But last time I showed up to his house, bro, he didn't like. I showed up with two guys. One of them was a camera guy. One of them was a boxing trainer.
And you were shadow boxing, or not shadow boxing, but you were hitting mitts.
Hitting pads, yeah. I was hitting mitts in front of his house, and his buddy. I was hitting pads for probably about a minute, 30 seconds before somebody actually came out and said, "Hey, he's not here." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." It's like 7 a.m, bro.
Oh,
I know you're there. How long does a boxing match take? 10 minutes? 5 minutes?
Yeah, he's probably just going to bed like I do.
Yeah, like we're not friends, dude. We're not going to sit and have a conversation. Like, let's really box. If you really want to do this, then let's do this. Like,
now, what's the response that you're seeing from that video that you've had?
A lot of people are asking me about it. People are wondering what's going on, and I'm saying, but the people who actually know me, they know how I am. It's go time. I don't care. We could have did it right there at UFC 248.
Now, I feel like you're in a better position now than when the video actually happened, because now you're hanging out with a lot of viral people like Gucci Berry. You're hanging out with people like Damn Long Neck. You're hanging out with people like, not Scars, Stitches. He's hanging out with Stitches and shit like that. Matter of fact, you knocked Stitches out, right? With a slap? You knocked Stitches out with a slap with all the pole dancers.
No, that wasn't. No, that wasn't
that?
Stitches. That was this guy Quest.
Okay. What is he? A rapper or?
Stitches did a video with me and Long Neck, and it basically we just pranked Long Neck, but no.
Oh, when he's sleeping, right?
The guy that got knocked out in the video was Quest G.
Now let me pull up your Instagram just to show people what I'm talking about, because I thought this was crazy, man. You're like in what are you at? His apartment, or there's a bunch of girls stripping around you. I mean, you might have deleted it. I don't even see it here anymore.
Yeah, it got flagged. So anytime I post slap videos, anything violent on my page on Instagram with blood in it. So that guy, Quest G, actually got knocked out. And when he got knocked out, he was bleeding out of his mouth. And he had to go get stitches. So they took that off because there was blood everywhere.
That kind of makes sense. Now you're also chilling.
It's funny you asked me that, though. It's on my story right now.
You're also chilling with the former boxing champ. Oh snap! I hung up on Snap. Give me a second here, guys. Slap, you there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I hung up by accident trying to go through Instagram and all that. But you've actually been hanging out with Andy Ruiz Jr., former boxing champ.
Yeah. Andy Ruiz is a personal friend of mine. I met Andy about a year ago. He's a good dude, Andy Ruiz.
Right after he won the title against
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, there you go. Just won it back.
Andy's a really mellow, calm guy. He kind of reminds me of Nick in a way, but Andy's actually with the business, bro. Like, he knows what's up. He's a good dude. And he's one of them guys, like, he'll fuck you up, but he doesn't. But he he looks like he's about to go to an all-you-can-eat, but he's ready to beat your ass at the same time.
And he was teaching your son some moves and stuff, I saw, right? Hitting pads.
Yeah. We know Andy real well.
You went to his birthday party, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Or no, you missed his birthday party, and he actually came to your house because you missed it. You couldn't make it. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I've been to Andy's house a couple times. I've hung out with him in California, and I've hung out with him in Vegas a few times, and I've done security for him on 3 different occasions.
What's he saying?
Really good dude.
I don't mean to get off track, but just really quick for a quick clip for the IG. What's he saying about his future? What's he doing right now? Like, is he
Andy Ruiz?
Yeah.
He's got a match coming up. There's a boxing match coming up, and
trilogy or
I know definitely he wanted to do. Oh man, I think personally, because like when I'm hanging out with Andy, I don't really talk about boxing with him too much.
That makes sense, yeah.
You know, because that's like me talking to you, like, you know, like somebody comes home from work, they don't want to talk about work.
Exactly, yeah.
Type deal. So when I'm just a friend with Andy. I don't really talk to him, and like I said, I do security for him when he goes out places because he likes to go out sometimes. But I don't talk to him about boxing. But just from being around him, if I had to guess, it would be Wilder, Fury, or White. but I would like to see the rematch of the trilogy of Joshua and Joshua versus Ruiz, because I know Andy can knock that dude out, bro. I know Joshua's like a Logan. And I'm like an Andy, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like a.
You're putting in work, and he's trying to do the clout thing, right?
Huh?
You're putting in work, but he's just trying to like make headlines and stuff like that.
Oh, Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like Andy's about business, bro. He'll go in there and knock Joshua out. That's why the last match Joshua and Andy had, Joshua took him 12 rounds thinking he wasn't going to last.
Andy was winning most of that fight, I believe. Right? Did you think the same thing? Was Andy winning most of that fight?
I definitely thought Joshua ran the whole time, and Andy's a scrapper. I think that Andy came in too heavy. He was 290 pounds. 6 foot tall, 290 pounds, and he went 12 rounds just running around chasing this guy because Joshua knew he can't go fist to fist with Ruiz, because Ruiz would knock his ass out like he did the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Cass, the last 6 minutes of this conversation, I want to fire bullets off right now. With the whole thing with the coronavirus going on right now, don't you think it would be perfect if you and Logan, was that your little boy?
Yeah.
Little boy over here?
Go play. Yes.
First off, here, let me say this. What's it like, being stuck inside, and a guy like you who's usually out on the strip or doing what you do, what is it like? What are the other content creators saying out in your area? What's it like?
I still talk to Longneck.
Damn.
I still talk with him. We've been making content together lately because he lives like real close to me. So
he seems like a nice guy too.
Huh?
He seems like a real nice guy, like a real innocent kid that's just like he's like trolling everybody, but you know what I mean? Yeah, he seems like
me and Longneck get along real well. The thing I like about Longneck is he likes to do content. The people that like the fighters. See, the fighters really don't, because I hang out with a lot of pro fighters, like Nick Diaz, Andy Ruiz. They don't really want to do content. It's hard to get them to do content, man. They just feel like kind of like how they think is like to do funny content kind of weakens their weakens their thought.
Well, bro, you're going around going, "Hey Nick, D's called." D's nuts. I love those videos because he hates it but sets himself up for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, he gets pissed, dude. He does. See, Nick's a good guy, but he's a badass, bro, and he wants to maintain that personality. Like, I'm a bad motherfucker.
But like, it seems like you two get playful. You guys like fight and stuff in like hotel rooms, pillow fights and stuff like that, which is great content.
I wouldn't say just pillow fights, bro. It gets out of hand sometimes. Like, we've gotten to grappling. I've grappled with him probably like 9-10 times. Shadow boxing and stuff, but I try to keep it to a minimum because I know if it gets crazy between me and him, I don't want to ruin friendship. Like, what happens if one of us hits each other too hard and then
he's gonna get Versace gamered, right?
Fuck that guy. Who the fuck is that guy?
Now, listen, last time me and you spoke over the phone, not on a podcast, you were actually talking with Nick about the Masvidal fight. Remember, he was like, I'm shaking and baking, I'm doing this and that, like on his couch. You made a video about that. And what is he doing now? What is Nick up to now?
Oh yeah, I did do a video about Nick and George. I like George. I like his fighting style, but as a person I don't know George, but I know Nick. And if it came down to Nick actually taking and going through with the fight, and
because he said he was training for it, correct, Nick? When you spoke to him, and posted
I know there's a big problem going on with the UFC and Nick right now, so I don't know. Like, I don't actually get into his business like that, but I just know that it could possibly be a fight in the future. I just don't know when, or that's up to Nick and George. Like, they have to talk to their guys, talk to the UFC, and get this whole thing going. But I know George said he would take the fight. George said it'd be an honor. He didn't trash talk Nick. He went back because he knows Nick's a dog, man. Nick will be a UFC Hall of Famer one day, and And George knows that. He gave Nick respect, which that's why I kind of respect George, because he respected Nick. Nick's a buddy. Like, basically like if you're out and somebody trash talks your buddy, you're like, fuck that guy. You want to fuck that guy up personally,
Yeah, of
But
course.
because he gave respect to Nick and was like, yeah, it'd be an honor to fight Nick Diaz. I was like, damn, that was cool that he was cool about it. But
So
in the future, I definitely see Nick Diaz versus George Masvidal. I don't know when or how or who, but I could see it happening.
So listen, let me jump back into gear to end this off with a big bang. Everything going around right now with the coronavirus, obviously it's crazy right now. We don't know when we're even having the next UFC event. They're most likely canceling UFC 249 now that Habib has pulled out. So this is pretty good for the YouTube content creators. I mean, if you and Logan set this up and you get Nick and Nate to walk you out, whether I think they're in the zone the last couple of boxing matches that they've done. That would be huge because people are dying for content. Are you going to continue building this up? Are you going to reach out to Logan? What is your plan what is your next 3-month plan? What are you working on for the next 3 months?
This is my message to Logan Paul. Logan Paul, you're a punk bitch and you're scared to fight me. If you're not scared, then let's get it going. Because you know me, and this is how it goes, bro. If you really want to get down, let's get down. You want to be a bitch and just talk about it and act like you're actually going to take the fight, which we know you're not because you're scared. Bro, if you think you can win and you can beat me in the first round or you can knock me out, then why wouldn't you have done it by now? We know why. I know why. Because you're a bitch. You're scared.
What would be your regulations for this? Because I'm sure he's going to come back at you with a Mayweather thing, like a certain weight gloves and, you know what I mean, a certain amount of rounds. What do you want?
At this point, I don't even give a shit. He wants to fight with 24-ounce gloves and 5-pound headgear. Let's fucking run it. I don't care, bro.
You're ready to do it in his front yard by the gate, man. You're ready to do it by the gate.
Well, this is what he wants to do in his back of his yard with 5-pound headgear, FaceTime video, 2-pound gloves. I don't know. That guy's he's on a. I think he's starting to get. I think this is what I think, that as he gets bigger as a person, if he gets up to about 210, anything past 205 it's fair game.
Where is he at size wise from the first time that video was filmed compared to when you saw him at UFC 246? Is he a lot bigger?
He has no legs. If you look in those videos, he's got chicken legs. He's all upper body, so he has no legs at all.
Chicken Logan. Instead of Chicken Little,
Chicken leg Logan Paul. Logan Chicken Leg Paul.
Hashtag. Yeah.
He got no legs,
That's
bro.
Great.
He can say I'm fat all day, but he won't get in a boxing match with me. So
next 3 months, when do you think this fight would go down? December or?
Hard to say, man.
Hard to say. All right. Well, listen.
But here's the thing. I'll go anytime he wants to go. Whenever he wants to go, let's run it. On another note, so anytime he wants to run this, let's go, bro. You're the one fucking around, not me. So you know how to get a hold of me. It ain't hard. Go to my Instagram, type a message to Slap for Cash, and I'll fuck you up.
I want in on that card, man. Somewhere on the prelims, I want to box Mike, or I'll box. You know what I mean? I want in on that.
Yeah, you should box Azadi. Fuck that fat cunt up.
Who's that? Who's Azadi? That's
the one who set this whole fucking. That's the reason why we're all in this. Because
the guy who got him and Tana Montague married. I'll do it, man. I would do it. Totally do it.
Take Azadi. I'll go with Logan Paul. Hey, on a side note, I don't want to give these guys any more clout, man. So on a side note, I got Nick Diaz bobblehead signed and ready, and MMAbobblehead.com produced that. And they got that bobblehead of Nick Diaz already created and made.
Way.
So they made 1,000. They made 1,000 of them.
You were talking about that and the egg. Remember the egg? Is he still doing the egg?
Egg weights. He did egg weights. But what just got recently created is 1,000 Nick Diaz bobbleheads.
I need one of those, man.
If you guys want to follow Nick Diaz bobblehead, the guy that made Nick Diaz bobblehead, and buy one, it's MMA bobblehead. It's the Instagram, and the website's MMAbobblehead.com.
I'll have that linked right down below here for you guys to order.
Yeah, and MMA bobblehead, they actually made, dude, you got to check out this guy's bobbleheads. He makes the greatest bobbleheads I've ever seen. Actually hand painted versions that look identical. He actually paints the bobbleheads himself. He might have a few people that help him, but really cool guy. Me and Nick sat down with him when we were signing the papers and everything. And when he first agreed to make the bobblehead, it took him a couple of months. And Nick's gonna sign 200 out of 1,000 of those bobbleheads. So
Wow.
the really close and the really close fans of Nick Diaz, they'll buy the autograph version of the bobblehead.
Those are gonna go quick.
I don't know. Yeah. 1,000. He already said, he's like, man, we've already sold a bunch of bobbleheads. So if you go on his page, like I said, it's MMA bobblehead is his Instagram, and he has like photos of all the bobbleheads on his Instagram. And his name's Dave. He's a good dude. Like I said, I sat down with him, and the bobbleheads are just, and he does Christmas ornaments too, so you can actually order and put on your tree like little bobblehead versions that you can put on your tree of these fighters. And he's already, are you watching it? Or are you looking
I was looking for it on your Instagram, but I don't see it over there. It looks like you really cleaned your Instagram up with what like clicks. So
yeah, that's another thing. My Instagram used to be wild, man. I'd had like 90 different girls on there. I had a buddy of mine like say, "Hey, man, let me clean this up for you and let me give you some guidance."
That's smart.
And I'm like, to a degree, you can give me some help. You know, I still want to run shit my way. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, let's do this for more follows." Because when you first met me, I think I had like 25,000 followers.
You're at 103K right now.
Yeah,
103K.
Yeah. And that first 100,000 I built on my own. But I will say I have had great influencers help me. I've been doing videos with Nick Diaz for a long time just because he's my friend, you know, a friendly thing. But I would post those time to time. I also done videos with Damn Longneck. He's helped me grow my account a lot. His management's helped me grow a lot also. So big thanks to them. And Gucci Berry's manager always giving me advice on how to grow my account.
I just showed my girl Gucci Berry the other night on Leon Lush's channel. And dude, she was like, "Wait, what am I in for? Who? This guy?" I was like, "Yeah, man. Wait till you see Damn Longneck. Love those guys."
Yeah, it's they like to refer to us as a freak show.
I love it though. I saw you like you had Damn Longneck in a cage, like down on the strip. I was like, "This is great content, man."
Hey, bro, I had that video going, and the police came up to me like I kidnapped Longneck, and they're like.
He's all barking and growling at people under the
yeah. The other day I actually introduced Longneck and Andy Ruiz to each other.
Oh god. Wait, how did you and Johnny Walker get linked up, man? What's up with that?
I was out during a fight, and we were watching a fight. Me and Longneck went to this fight, and while we were out, I had seen Johnny kind of blew up on Instagram, which made his videos like go viral, and I seen like him knocking people out and shit on Instagram. So I was kind of like, man, that guy's gonna be the future. Yeah. And me and Longneck happened to be out at this fight in Vegas, and sure enough, I look over and it's Johnny Walker. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And we're like in Vegas. There's not a lot of big influencers that just show out, you know, show up to places and show out. So I didn't really say anything to him at first, but I look over towards the end as they're walking out. He's with my friend Shawnee Styles, and Shawnee Styles is known to be around like big names also. So I'm like, "Hey, Shawnee, what are you guys doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're going out to eat. You want to go with us?" I'm like, "Yeah, we'll go." So me and Longneck went to eat with Shawnee and a couple other people and Johnny Walker, and we're sitting there and. I just happened to sit right next to Johnny Walker because I had to sit in a chair. We're big dudes. Johnny's like 6'5".
It looked like you guys were at like a Dave and Buster's or something, like doing arcade games or something.
No, we were at a sushi place.
Okay.
That time, but I've been out to eat with him a few times. So we're sitting there talking, and I said, "Hey, man, you and Longneck should do videos together." And Longneck, he looked up Longneck's account, and Shawnee's like, "Yeah, let's go back to my house." Shawnee has a huge-ass mansion. He goes, "Let's go back to my house and make videos." Johnny's like, Like, I gotta be up tomorrow to train. I'm like, come on, bro, just come to. And I just showed him a couple of videos, and he's like, all right, I'll come over for a while. So we had Johnny Walker at the house for like an hour.
So let me
And
play the video really quick from
yeah,
your Instagram, the one with Johnny making the crazy face. Is that a good one to play for everybody?
yeah.
What's the story behind this before I press play? What were we about to say?
We were just trying to come up with stuff, and we didn't have no notice because I didn't know I was gonna meet Johnny Walker that day, you know. And I didn't even know I was gonna be like, once I seen him, I didn't know if we'd even get along. 'Cause some of these guys, they're not down to do content, but
Yeah.
Johnny just has a personality to him. He's an actor and he's MMA and an MMA badass, which is really rare, bro. Because most of the badass fighters these days, they don't have both. They either have I'm a badass, but I'm not down to make content, or I'm a badass and I'm down to make content. You know, like there's very few people who want to make videos and be funny. They feel like it wears on their character. But if you know who Johnny is, you'll know he's the type of guy to get the crowd going, you know?
At a certain point before his last fight or two, he only got injured by himself after a fight doing like a flip. Like sprained ankle out for months.
He was celebrating at the end of the fight, and he did a backflip and landed wrong.
Hurt himself.
So
knocking dudes out in the first round, first minute.
Yeah, Johnny Walker, I grappled with him and went to the UFC. You want to roll that video?
Let me roll it for everybody really quick. I mean, this is an intense thumbnail that you made, so here it is, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got damn long neck to walk out loud. Like it builds up you. Who's the second guy that comes through? That's the manager?
No, that's Bam Bam. He's really famous in Brazil. He does a bunch of TV stuff in Brazil. He's got like 1 million followers. He's cool. He's cool dude too.
Clever Bam Bam. All right. And then you got damn long neck in there, which is pretty crazy, man.
Damn long neck, Bam Bam, and Johnny Walker and me in a video.
So people just crave that kind of stuff.
So after that, me and Johnny started following each other on Instagram, and I think I got his number before he went to his hotel. And somehow I mentioned the fact that I used to train and I used to do stuff, and he said, "Bro, you want to train? We could train." I said, "All right, cool." He's like, "When you want to train?" I said, "We could train tomorrow." I think he thought I was bullshitting because he's like, and this was like 2 a.m. He's like, "Tomorrow we train 8 a.m., bro." I was like, "Okay, cool." I said, "You know what? Seems how you offered to bring me and train with you, I'll pick you up," because I knew he's down here without a car. And he's like, "Okay, cool, bro. Pick me up at the hotel." So I went to the hotel and I picked him up at like 8 a.m. Hey, bro, I know this dude did not think I was serious.
Yeah.
So I show up and he's like looking at me, and you could tell he just woke up.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at me like, he's like, "Are you okay, bro? You ready to train?" I'm like, "Yeah," because he's Brazilian, you know, he doesn't speak that great of it's like not clear of English. So it takes like 20 minutes to go get him and 20 minutes to drive to the UFC facility. We're training the first day, bro. I'm just tired as fuck. Second day comes by, he's like, "Pick me up, bro, at 9 a.m. I'm like, fuck it. Now I start like getting back into training again. Like Johnny Walker actually got me back into training.
That's good.
So 9 a.m. I pick him up. We go. We do some jiu-jitsu. I get this dude mounted. This dude bucked me off him, bro. Like I've done over 500 classes of jiu-jitsu, man. You got to keep in mind, I weighed in at like 417 pounds at the UFC facility. This dude bucked me off him. I had him on full mount.
A light heavyweight, yeah.
He bucked me off him like, no problem.
That's crazy,
so,
man.
I'm like, damn, this dude's going to be a superstar.
Double his weight. Double his weight. I mean, he's in the same division as John Bones.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the guy, I guess, who beats John Bones. And Johnny Walker, bro, when he hits pads, like when he kicks pads, you'll see everybody at the UFC stop and look over.
That's got to be a sight to see, man. That's got to be crazy.
Actually, I have it on video. I'm going to send it to you. Maybe put it into this.
Send it to me, and I'll put it in right here. Slap, while we wrap this thing up, man, what do you got to say to your fans out there? You got content in the works now that you're kind of trapped in home. Like, what are you doing, and what do you got to say to your fans to stay healthy? What's your plan?
You know, it's a rough time in America, and the content I'm making, at this point, it's stuff I hope that it's making people laugh, because like in the last 4 or 5 days I've had, I don't even know how many people reach out to me and just laugh put like smiley faces
important.
back at the content I'm putting out, and I hope it's helping people, because it's a really bad time in America. I've even read, because I'm always reading things about what's going on, and it said maybe up to 1%. It's sad to even talk about it. It's up to 1% of people, 1% of the world could be wiped off due to this virus, and it's really scary. So on my end, the only thing I can do is stay in my house and make content, and I have like actual up close and personal contact with just a few people. So because of what's going on, it's a really dangerous time.
It's got to be hard to be a father too, to entertain, you know, the little one through all this, because he can't go out and play, he can't do certain things, you know.
Well, so what I did, I'm glad you mentioned that. What I did is I started a TikTok with my son.
Oh, that's
and got
great.
Him yeah. So his TikTok is Mason the Kid. Mason, MasonDakid.
Yeah, and I got 1 million followers.
He doesn't need you anymore, Dad. He doesn't need you.
All right. Yeah. So and
he's
then
learned
I got
from
my
the best.
TikTok going. My TikTok, Shop for Cash 69. What? I already did.
He's learned from the best, man. He's gonna outdo you, man. He's gonna double the followers.
Yeah.
Here, have him jump in
to.
screen. Have him do a shout out for TikTok. I'll post it.
Definitely.
TikTok?
I will. What do you want him to say?
You and Dad do a shout out together.
That's got you.
We'll
I got
post
you.
it.
Yeah, and actually Longneck wants to work with Mason, because Mason's like my son Mason's like he's 5 years old, but he doesn't act like he's 5, dude, at all. You know,
you told me that before off air. You've told me a lot about how smart your son is, and just
Very
even see him hit pads. Like Andy was just like, wow, bro, 5 years old.
Yeah, and my son's met. Oh man, he calls Nick Diaz his uncle.
That's so crazy, man.
He calls Longneck his uncle. He's really close with Nick. He likes Nick a lot. Nick's been around him a few times, and Nick's stayed at my house, and you know, so he's obviously like, he's not really a kid person, but he likes Mason, my son. You know?
That's awesome, man. You're doing a great job out there, Slap. I want to thank you so much for joining us, especially through this hard time right now with people at home, trapped inside. I mean, we got girls trapped inside. I've kidnapped this girl. She's stuck, man. She can't go nowhere.
It used to be mice and rats. Now you've upgraded to females. I'm
Yo, Slap, guess how many rats I have now, bro?
0.
No, yeah, I wish, bro. Last time we talked, I think I had like 6 or something. Dude, I have like almost... Babe, how many do I got?
Like 80.
Yell it.
Like 80.
Bro, almost 80. 80. But
well,
Slap, listen, bro, I appreciate the interview. Actually, listen, man, keep us posted, and I will report it on pureevilmma.com with what's going on with the whole Logan versus you thing, because everyone is dying for content right now. So that's a great thing that's going on.
Definitely, like I said, even at this time, if he wanted to rumble, let's rumble.
Dude, a pillow fight. You and Logan pillow fight.
He's gonna have to do it one time or another. It's been talked about too much, dude.
Yeah.
So there's some point where he's just gonna, he's gonna have to take it, because my name keeps getting mentioned. You know.
And that's gotta bother you.
All these little kids know about this shit, and all these low gangers know about it, because I get asked, and probably a third of the followers I have, 33. So a third of 103,000 is like 34,000. So 34,000 people on my Instagram are his fans that personally like to write me shitty messages and talk shit.
But you go right back at them, I see.
Sometimes, but I've been told by big influencer friends of mine that have millions of followers, just to let it go and not reply. But I get bored every once in a while, and I like to talk shit back. But I've been told by big influencers and personal friends not to reply. You know.
Well, there's a difference between getting upset about it and just having fun with it, which I feel like you're learning to do. You know what I mean?
I've never got upset because I know it's like some little 9-year-old in Louisiana with nothing to do sitting behind his dad's username talking.
Well, all of Logan's fans, I think the analytics show 9 to 12 years old viewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for him.
See,
so it's probably a lot of young kids.
Well, I know 9 to 12-year-old kids are about to see Logan get his ass whooped. And after I whoop his ass, Eddie, watch all these people say, "Oh, well, you're fucking twice his weight, 3 times his size. Well, you're supposed to beat his ass." You know, there'd always be an excuse, dude. Always.
But all that matters, man, is where there's content to be made. It's coming, and we're looking forward to that. Slap, thank you so much. Follow Slap at Slap4Cash on Instagram. I'll also have the links underneath this podcast for the bobblehead for Nick Diaz. Hopefully there's enough left for you guys. So hop on there real quick. And where else can people find you before we end this here, Slap?
Like I said, I just started TikTok about a month ago. It's up to 20,000 followers. It's not bad for a month's time. That's Slap4Cash69 on TikTok. And then my Instagram is Slap4Cash, SLAPFOR Cash. And that's pretty much it, man.
All right, Slap. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, and I'll post this up as soon as I can. God bless.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Later. All right, there you guys go. Slap4Cash in the building here on Pure Evil MMA. Hope you guys enjoyed me returning here on the podcast. My girlfriend might choke me because I have not paid attention to her in a second. So let me do that. Make sure to subscribe down below here on YouTube, iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify. Get us back onto iTunes Top 40 Podcasts, which we've got the last 3 years. And leave us a response on our iTunes page, and I will actually send you a t-shirt, sticker, or it matters. I'll give out a t-shirt for, listen, here, I'll do a giveaway right now. The next 14 days for anyone that gives a review on our iTunes page, take a screenshot of that and tweet it to me at evil_echo or at pureevilmma_, and I will send you a t-shirt if we get up to 20 reviews. All right, that is it. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, White Knuckle Stand. Remember, without evil, there's no purity. Behave yourselves.